What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, break it down on what's really moving NIO, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, it is up 2.07%, a fair amount of volume. So 14.9 million shares being traded, 50.2 is the average. Market's been open about 32 minutes. So today is going to be a very heavy volume day. And not only that though, today's actually very iconic because over this last week and a half, NIO's been piggybacking off of Tesla and their success out in China and just laying the foundation for the foreseeable future. So this sell-off right here was attributed to Tesla. This kind of bounce right here is institutions buying NIO. So right now, NIO is breaking away from Tesla's shadow. I know that kind of sounds weird. Some people might disagree on that, but big money is buying and you can't argue with some of the data. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know. Today, there's been no official news, no SEC filings, but tomorrow being the very first day in May, it is estimated for us to have April numbers being submitted, as you can kind of see, estimated for May the 1st. So that should be fairly good in my opinion. But like I said, no official news, no SEC filings. I think just big money is scouring the broader market right now for value plays. And as I've said in the past, NIO is among the most discounted EVs out there. Looking at the PS ratio for NIO, it is 1.2, and then the future is 1. That is just insane. And just to give you a good representation, I'll pull up Lucid. I do cover that under this channel as well. So just looking under the multiples. So the PS for Lucid right here is 9.7. and then the future is 6.5. So ultimately, NIO, which does produce more in 1 month than Lucid does so far in 1 year, actually, to be fully honest, in its entirety ever since 2021. But the expectation on NIO on a multiple standpoint is absolutely garbage. So I think right now, big money is looking for discount plays, and NIO is probably up there among Polestar as well. Looking at shorts right now, they are returning 143,000 shares. 13.85% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 188.91 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 1.72, and then utilization is 85.92. I don't really see NIO being a squeeze play. I know a lot of people like to chatter and say that something's a squeeze. Like, even if NIO does come out with a very good catalyst, yeah, you'll have some shorts return, probably maybe 1%, 1.5%, maybe 2% possibly, but not a squeeze, as what a lot of people associate with AMC. So I like to bring this up as a benchmark just to see what they are doing, not because NIO is a squeeze play. So once again, just for full transparency, moving on, looking at options. So right now, again, with the market being open about 30 minutes, you see $374,000 in calls, 1.22 million in puts. So a lot of money is getting into NIO through options. So that is a nice change of events because over this last week-ish, the volume getting into NIO through options again has been a little bit lower. But more importantly, looking at the sentiment, 62% of all the options being purchased so far are optimistic and bullish for at least the foreseeable future. And in my opinion, I think it is piggybacking off of this. I have brought this up, I believe, last video, but the Elliott Wave Technicals does have a pivot of 405. So for as long as NIO is above that, then it is anticipated to kind of hit the mid $5 range, at least in the short term. So I think that is absolutely epic stuff. And at least in the past, this has come to fruition. So let me know your thoughts on that. While I'm actually on here, I'll give you a quick overview. So in case you missed it, last analyst rating was done 7 days ago, $4.10 price target. Goldman Sachs, Tina, who has a 27% success rating. But regardless, I feel like that one rating right there, because at the time it was like 360. So that was still considered a bullish rating coming down the pipeline. So I think that also kickstarted in combination with the technicals for it to go up. Then Tesla was able to carry NIO a little bit further than that. So I think all in all, pretty exciting stuff in the foreseeable future, and the technicals are looking very optimistic. So quickly moving on from here. So looking at the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above $5 by this week, and then more so around the $5.50 in the next couple weeks. And then looking at puts, you do see a consensus for it to be below $4.50. So the risk versus reward is still very much in favor of upside. You do see a lot of big transactions today, both on the secondary market and also the dark pool. So this is a secondary market, so it shows transactions above $100,000. As I did signal, big money is buying it, because on a typical day, you have roughly around 3 transactions, maybe 5, but so far within the first short time period, you do have 3. So algorithmic trading is also picking up on just the optimism and momentum of NIO. So very good stuff in my opinion. And then aside from that, right now with it at $4.68, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. And I actually did bring up NIO in my pre-market video under my other channel, Trending Stocks. And I even said that over the last couple days, this S1, so the 438, hasn't been touched, and nor has this pivot of 508. But in my opinion, given the momentum, this 508 should be touched prior to this S1. So I think, assuming Powell doesn't come out and really scare the broader market tomorrow, because tomorrow we have ADP employment and then payroll on Friday. Tomorrow is the Feds. And yeah, you do have as well, I think, Apple on Thursday after hours. But aside from that, NIO does have a very positive momentum, and it should really carry forward into the foreseeable future. So I do truly feel that this pivot point is going to be touched, at least sooner rather than later. So let me know your thoughts on that. But obviously, given the data that is probably going to be coming out tomorrow, that will be a determining factor whether it's able to kind of stay above that or not. Because 2024 is all results driven, so we'll just wait and see. But on the actual chart itself, it is still higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. You do see a very nice bullish deviation, so white line above the red, but it is considered somewhat overbought now. So I think a lot of stocks that have been running up over this last little bit are now encountering this. The first sign of weakness, you are going to see a very significant pullback. And so again, that's anticipated and nothing really wrong with that, right? It's still very healthy consolidation to build strong support levels. So I'm not too worried about that, but definitely something to be aware of. So don't go all in at these prices, because the first sign of weakness, like I said, you will see a pullback. But despite that though, number of retail investors have been getting in ever since April the 2nd. So like I said, I think some pretty exciting times are coming down the pipeline for NIO. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, if you've been selling. Or have you been getting in through options, because a lot of money is getting in through that way. So what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And one final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So that is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.